One of my favourite things about riding is when you come out of a corner and you just fucking give it some. Oh, it's just a good feeling. You're just like, you're one. Like, oh, like that. You just, whoosh, you're one with the road, mate. Gives me a boner every time. What's up, guys? I'm iTrophyEyes. And, it's a nice Friday arvo here in Darwin. I notice I'm always saying that here in Darwin. Fucking, yeah, no worries. The dry season's nearly here and the afternoons are a little cooler, which is great because that means no sweaty nuts, and that's always a good thing. I find out a lot of people, when they're trying to make bike decisions, or when they're getting their learners, and they're asking around a lot, they tend to ask a lot of moto vloggers for their opinions. And I know this is one of the most overdone topics. It is such an overdone topic, and a part of me is like, Trophy, why are you doing this? Everyone's already fucking talked about this before. But you can probably guess by the title, I'm fucking doing what everyone else has already done. And I'm talking about buying your first bike brand new or buying a used one. And when I say that back to myself now, that's a nice KLR. That girl in her car was like, oh, that hurt my chest laughing just now. Holy fuck. Oh, that doesn't feel good. Ah, shit. I just hurt myself laughing. Oh man, no, that actually fucking hurts. I was laughing because that girl was like, oh my god, when she looked at me. Must have been my smooth looks. Where can I do this? Yeah, you can probably guess by the title. Everyone's already done this shit. I feel like I need to add my 2 cents because I work with a mate who disagrees with me, and I just don't know why. Like, buying your first bike brand new, all right? There's going to be people that do it for obvious reasons. Didn't want to keep talking while that guy was over there. There's people that do it for obvious reasons, and the main one being that you have reliability. The chance of your bike fucking up you've bought it brand new is slim to none, unless you buy a Suzuki. I'm kidding. Slim to none. So that's one of the best things. And if you have the money, hell yeah, buy a brand new bike. But if you're one of the people that doesn't, and you actually have to save up for something, not saying that's bad. Saving is awesome, and you should always save your money, kids. If you're one of the people that actually has to save their money, and you can only really afford a used bike, then that's good too. There's obviously pros and cons about both of these things. If you buy a brand new bike straight off the floor, you're spending a lot of money on a bike that you're going to be on your L's for. You're going to be restricted for. Depending on where you live in the world. In Australia, it's different in each state. So here it's like you're on your L's for a year, then you're on. Look, I can't even remember. The licensing up here is fucked. I was on my L's for a year, and then I went to my P's. See, look, I can't even remember. Either way, you're not going to have the bike for a very long time, unless you're planning on using it. You're not a recreational rider, you're an A to B sort of person, then that'll suit you fine. But if you're one of the people, like what most people do when they buy a motorbike, is upgrade once they're off their restrictions because you have a major passion for motorcycling, then you're going to be in debt. And if you're the type of person that can't afford that debt, like, it ain't going to be good. It's going to be a little bit tougher. Now that's just my view on it. There's obviously people that are going to buy a bike brand new, straight off the floor, and then be able to afford, buying another brand new bike, when they're off their restrictions. Now, if you're a type of person like I did, I bought my bike, I saved up for it, my first bike, and I dropped it. So, because I dropped it the first day I had it when I was practicing along the driveway, and I didn't even really care that much, because it was a used bike and it already had a few scuffs on it. Same with my next bike. I actually crashed my next bike, my CBR 250, right over there. I'll show you in a sec, this car's nearly gone. But the bike's okay, it's just fairing damage on that roundabout. You know, you do run the you know, you're a learner, so the chances of you going to drop it are, you know, fairly high compared to, you know, just a normal rider. It can happen to anyone at any time, obviously, but if you're a learner, then, you know, you've got a little bit of a higher chance. So if you buy a brand new bike and then you drop it, then you got a fucking bike. You got a bike that's now got a fucking scuff mark on it. That's a pain in the ass, fool! You got to get that shit fixed. Whereas if you buy a second-hand bike and you just drop it as your first bike, I mean, keep in mind we're only talking about first bikes. Then, you know, you're not going to be as pissed. For older bikes, there's going to be parts everywhere. For newer bikes, there's going to be parts, but they may, like, I remember when the Ninjas came out, 300s, and there weren't any parts for a few. That was a nice R1, holy fuck. And there are parts for a few of them, but they take a while to come out. So you do weigh up the pros and cons. If whenever someone says to me, Trophy, what should I do? I always say, look mate, this is what I reckon. Buy a cheap bike. Doesn't have to be flash, you know. It's your first bike. It doesn't have to be a fucking BMW fucking... Oh, BMW don't even make learner bikes, you dick! It doesn't have to be a fucking, like a Ducati Lambs Monster, you know. It doesn't... And it depends on the type of person you are. Depends on the type of person you are. Me, like I said, I always say to people, buy a second-hand bike first, then get a loan. That's what I did. I bought my first bike. Hold on, I like this corner. I bought my first bike, saved up for it, and then my second bike I got a loan for. And I'm glad it worked out that way. Yeah, I'm in debt now, but I'm casually paying it off, and there's no drama. That's just my view on it anyway. I don't know if that even fucking... There's someone in them bushes, bros. What the fuck? What the McTit? That's just my view on it anyway. There's all different kinds of factors and variables that will, you know, obviously influence your decision to buy your first bike, but that's what I reckon, you know. Don't get a loan, man. Don't get a loan for your first bike. You got a brand new bike straight off the fucking showroom floor. The minute you drive it out of there, that's it. You've lost value. You've lost a shitload of value on that. Straight up. Oh, whereas if you buy a used bike, oh, this'll do. If you buy a used bike, you know, the value, if you maintain it, the value kind of stays the same. Then you buy a Swish bike, then you spend the money on it. You put a fucking power commander in it, you get a fucking full exhaust system, you know, you go all out. But buying a brand new bike, or even a used bike, and then like spending all this money on it, man, it's... Yeah, chuck on a fucking slip-on exhaust. It's your first bike, but I know so many people that spend so much money on their first bike. And I'm like, you know, that's definitely not something I would do. I'm not saying, hey, don't fucking do it. That's just how I see it, you know. I wouldn't spend the money on it. I'd buy the little things, but I know people that fucking don't do it. Who's gonna go? Who's gonna go? No one. Good on yous. So yeah, that's just my view on it, you know, that's my 2 cents. It's just how I see it, you know. Do whatever makes you feel warm and fuzzy inside and gives you a massive erection. That's the key. That's the key to a good life. Being happy with your decisions. Now, I also came into a little bit of money. As of last week, thanks to my good friend Jess, who works at the bank. You're a legend. Thanks for sorting all my shit out, mate. And I've got about $1,100, okay? And I want to spend this on something that I'm not going to be like, oh fuck, I shouldn't have done that. I was tempted to get my tattoos finished, and I was like, don't waste your fucking loan money on tattoos, you dick. So, my question to you, what the hell would you do with $1,100 to spend on whatever you wanted on my R6? You can choose whatever you want. Because I'm having a bit of a hard time trying to decide what I want to spend it on. You know, I was like, oh yeah, maybe, whoops, maybe I should get a, you know, full fucking exhaust system. And then you're like, yeah, fuck, why would you want that? You know, I'm not racing the bike. Oh, maybe I should get a fucking slip-on exhaust. I don't really want to wake up the neighbours when I'm, you know, riding off at night time. Or there's things like engine covers and stuff like that, which I should probably invest in. But then again, you know, you've got insurance. So if you've got insurance and you drop the bike, then you're covered. And crash protection doesn't really have any fucking worth then, does it? So, let me know. If you had $1,100 to spend on upgrades / mods or a service. That's the other thing. Service. Should I get a service? A proper full service, like an $800 fucking special. It'll make my wallet cry. Let me know. And the third and final thing before I go home is just a reminder about my meetup. My meetup is still on. We have 10 confirmed people coming. That is sick. That is awesome. A reminder, if you are keen on that, if you're a subscriber who's wanting to come, or if you're a motovlogger who's wanting to come, you need to go to my iTrophyEyes Facebook page, and there's an event. You need to join the event, and you need to say, yes, I'm coming. And then I'll be like, sweet as. Are you also coming to my... No, that joke, that's not funny. That's not funny, Levi. Fuck up. Alright guys, that is it. That is all I have for you. My name is iTrophyEyes. If you like this video, click the like button. There's a guy sleeping down there. G'day! And I'll see you guys next time. Peace. It's going to be a dinner meetup. Alright, so 7 o'clock. This is what you want to write down. 7 o'clock, April 11th, Surfers Paradise, the Hard Rock Cafe. That's where I'm going to be. Alright.